It's your campus, local, national, and world news headquarters. Join us as RMU Live begins right now.
It's Election Day here at Robert Morris. Voters are lining up to cast their ballots for class president and vice president of the classes of 2010 and 2012. If you're a freshman or a junior, you still have time to cast your vote. Polls are open until 6 o'clock this evening, and we should know by tomorrow who won the first ever RMU class presidential election. Good evening and welcome to RMU Live for Thursday, April 16th. I'm Chris Walker.
And I'm Ed Albert. Polls opened yesterday morning at the voting booth inside Nicholson Center in a new tradition for RMU. Senior Scott Golmick was appointed class of 2009 president last fall, while this week marks the first class-wide election in RMU history. The one-year term of president includes the duties of representing his or her class, as well as building a class and campus community through various activities. Running for president of the class of 2010 are Julie Nelson and her running mate Alex Lehman, Nazare Dorosh and his running mate Christy Feliciano, and Michael Church and his running mate Ashley Leonard. The class of 2012 candidates are Maria Satira and her running mate Steve Yoke, and Joseph Lack and his running mate Zachary Wassel. Jared Schrupp and Gretchen Adler have already been named the president and vice president of the class of 2011 after running unopposed. The polls are open until 6 o'clock today.
Still have a little bit of time.
Yes, get out there and vote.
If you're a resident student here at Robert Morris, you've probably noticed some early construction work happening on campus. According to our news partners at the Century, Ross, Hamilton, and Hancock Halls will receive exterior renovations over the summer. Now, work began 3 weeks ago in order to finish the project by the start of the fall semester, but according to campus operations, work is officially halted as of 3 p.m. on Tuesday and will not resume until after finals week. If you have any questions, stop by the Office of Residence Life in Washington Hall or the Office of Facilities Management in Wayne Center.
An RMU employee received a suspicious phone call last week. According to the Department of Public Safety, the employee reported a phone call from someone claiming to be in the Department of Education and attempted to acquire the employee's personal information. An investigation was conducted, but there were no results.
Campus police were called to the Island Sports Center last weekend over what sources at RMU Public Safety are calling a civil matter. Police were called just before 6 p.m. on April 5th for a matter involving a broken cell phone. Now, the involved parties agreed on a settlement, and the incident did not escalate any further.
We've all seen reality television, but what about reality theater? Play in a Day is a unique theatrical experience where the entire process of creating a play from the moment pen meets paper to the final dress rehearsal is executed in the span of 24 hours. At 8 p.m. next Friday, April 24th, 3 directors, 3 playwrights, and over a dozen actors will gather in the Massey Theater where they will be split into 3 teams and given a topic. 24 hours later, they will take the stage with an original one-act show. Will we see the next great theatrical achievement? Will we see an epic failure? Play in a Day takes the stage next Saturday, April 25th at 8 p.m. in Massey Theater. If you're interested, tickets are $5, and if you'd like to perform, you can see John Locke in the Office of Student Life.
The RMU Sustainability Committee wants your help to make RMU a green campus. Today, all students, faculty, and staff are being asked to complete a brief survey about sustainability efforts on campus, as well as to find out what people are already doing to make RMU a more sustainable community. Now, the survey only takes about 15 minutes to complete, and you can follow the link to the survey through an email, which was distributed to all faculty, staff, and students this morning.
Tuesday, Governor Ed Rendell spoke out about gun control laws in Harrisburg. Ever since the death of the 3 Pittsburgh police officers, Rendell, alongside Pittsburgh's Mayor Luke Ravenstahl and Police Chief Nate Harper, have asked to have semi-automatic weapons, including AK-47s, banned. Legislative action needs to take place, and Rendell is asking citizens to voice their opinion to help persuade legislators. And 22-year-old Richard Poplawski made his first court appearance in that case yesterday by waiving his right to a preliminary hearing regarding the shootings in Stanton Heights. His attorney, Lisa Middleman, also announced today that she is requesting that the judge extend a gag order for Governor Rendell and all public officials. Rendell said this week that he would sign a death warrant for Poplawski without a moment's thought.
Police in Donora, Washington County are saying they have a suspect in 2 local arson cases, an 11-year-old boy. On April 8th, police say the boy set fire to a home on Thompson Avenue in Donora, followed 2 days later with a similar incident at a laundromat. Now, officials have determined that both fires were set intentionally, causing moderate to heavy damage to both structures.
And coming up after the break, a controversial new bill in New York and a national tea party?
Plus, we have Channing Frampton here with your local weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Thanks again, sir. I look forward to being an asset to this company.
My pleasure. You'll hear from us in about a week with our decision, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks again.
Wow. That young man has real potential to work here. I guess all we have left to do now is make sure there are no surprises on that face page thing.
Well, I found something I think you'd like to see.
Oh, that's a shame.
True. How'd your interview go?
Oh man, I nailed it. It's in the can.
Hey, come on, man.
Extreme behaviors have extreme costs.
Could New York be the next state to legalize gay marriage? Governor David Paterson saying that the legislation introduced today would bring marriage equality to the state. The bill, introduced in 2007, passed the New York House of Representatives, but later died on the state Senate floor. Majority Leader Malcolm Smith, while backing the move, says he doubts the bill will gain enough votes to pass. Currently, Massachusetts, Iowa, Connecticut, and Vermont are the only states that recognize same-sex marriages.
And thousands of Americans participated in more than 300 different Tea Party rallies across the country, including right here in Pittsburgh yesterday in Market Square. The demonstrators were taking aim at President Obama and Congress over taxes, spendings, and bailouts. Now, T stands for Taxed Enough Already. Now, the rallies occurring on the same day as the deadline for Americans to file their federal income taxes. Of course, we all know April 15th, Tax Day.
Not the best day of the year.
Not
but
the greatest.
It was pretty nice outside, and it's nice outside today. Channing, is there more of that in the future?
Well, I tell you, it is a good day for a tea party here in Moon Township. So I don't know about you guys, but
I forgot the tea.
Yeah.
You forgot the tea.
But we'll bring party balloons.
Well, I'll tell you what, you could head yourself up to Romo's Cafe, get
Iced
some
tea.
tea and iced tea, and hang out on the front lawn. But hey, let's take a look at the temperatures out on the front lawn because it is very nice out there this afternoon, folks. In case you didn't notice, temperatures are running above average for this time of year. We have a temperature reading right now of 60 degrees with a dew point of 24 degrees. Now, that's a little bit dry out there considering the humidity is only 24%, but pressure is at 30.33 inches, which is giving us those nice clear skies, which is letting the sunshine to shine down on us and give us the nice warm temperatures. And we're going to see a lot more of that coming up later this week. Temperatures around the region look like this: 60 degrees in Beaver Falls, 61 in Burgettstown, 61 here in Pittsburgh, 59 in Butler, and we have 60 in Katanning. Now, we also have temperatures like this, looking like this: 62 in Detroit, 65 in Fort Wayne, 44 in Cleveland, and 45 in Erie. Now, up around the Great Lakes, you're going to see the cooler temperatures because the lakes still have a little bit of ice in them, and it's pretty cool for this time of year. But we have 62 down in Columbus, 65 in Lexington, Kentucky, and we'll see those warmer temperatures begin to move up through this region, which will increase our temperatures later on tomorrow afternoon. Now, as far as for tonight's forecast, we have a temperature reading of 33 degrees, so it's not quite going to be freezing, but down in the mountain valleys, it might be a little cooler, so you might want to cover up the plants to make sure that the flowers don't get frozen off. Our actual high today, 64 degrees with a low of 36. Our normals for this time of year, 61 and 39. And our record high looks like this, 86 degrees with a record low of 21 degrees. Now here is our forecast for tomorrow. Actually, we're going to go straight to the 5-day. It looks like we have 69 degrees for Friday, 71 by Saturday. It's going to be a great day to get out, play some Frisbee, or head downtown to the Cultural District to check out Godspell or Rent. Rain showers will be returning to bring us some May flowers going into the end of the semester. So whatever you guys think, that's what I have to offer for you.
Tomorrow's going to be nice. We're going to go watch the Penguin game outside down at the
sounds
arena.
Sounds like a good
It'll be a nice day for
idea.
that. And speaking of Penguins, Chris, I think Josh Elsas has a little bit more on the Penguins last night.
You can tell us all about them.
Josh, tell us about the Penguins. You got anything for us, Josh?
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure.
You know what?
There he is. Hey, Josh.
If you really want to know about the Penguins, you're going to have to wait until after the break. Because when we come back, we'll be talking Pens in their playoff run, and we're taking a trip to the Frozen Four. But first, here's our Athlete of the Week.
Once they've outgrown their toddler seat, they're still not ready for adult safety belts alone. 4'9" is the magic number. Until then, kids need a booster seat. Make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely. Visit boosterseat.gov.
200 years ago, Lewis and Clark set out to discover an all-water route to the Pacific. But what they really discovered in themselves and everyone they encountered are qualities we can still learn from today. As we commemorate the Lewis and Clark bicentennial, we invite you to walk with them at lewisandclark200.org and see what you discover, because their trail winds through us all.
At Robert Morris University, we explore our world.
We made documentaries in Chile.
I'm taking business students to Mexico.
We deliver nursing services to families in Nicaragua.
We're going to study media management in Germany.
At Robert Morris University, we're preparing students for tomorrow's careers. That means gaining a global perspective. Come check out how your world can expand at RMU.
Pens took on the Flyers in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs last night. This was awesome. The Pens jumped out early to a 4-1 lead against the Broad Street Bullies. This was a seemingly easy task since Marty Braun allowed beach balls to pass the entire night. The Penguins jumped out well, and they jumped out good as Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby got their skates wet and their sticks hot at the beginning of the playoff run. They're up 1-0 in the series. It should be a fantastic one against their cross-state rivals. But this wasn't the only thing going on in hockey this weekend. Ernie Bernard, he followed a very special goaltender from Ohio to the nation's capital. Ernie, take it away.
Friday in the Verizon Center, the Frozen Four skills competition was held, and our very own Brianne McLaughlin was one of the participants, and she had a very simple strategy for the events.
Well, my dad told me before I came out here, don't embarrass the family, so that's what I tried to do, but oops.
Brianne didn't play a game since Friday, March 6th versus Wayne State in the CHA tournament, so she had a little bit of rust knock off in the morning skate.
It was hard to get back into it. We had a little skate this morning, but I think I needed a little more practice.
Brianne took part in two events, the rapid fire event, but the event that everyone was talking about was the shootout.
We were going to try to do something fancy, but so I was trying to stay up as long as I could, but it was a little slippery. I kept slipping into the net. I scored 2 of those on my own.
But this performance at the house of Alexander Ovechkin did help this small school from right outside of Pittsburgh to get some attention in the hockey world.
We got a little publicity. A couple of people here was asking where Robert Morris was, so maybe get a little publicity for Robert Morris.
Doesn't matter, right?
Even though she didn't have the best of outings, Brianne McLaughlin did give some much-needed attention to Robert Morris University. From the Verizon Center, Ernie Bernard, RMU Live.
Meanwhile, back in Pittsburgh, we took on the Houston Astros, the Pirates that is, and it was a sunny afternoon in PNC Park, and it looked good at first with the Buccos getting 2 runs in the first, but the Astros rocketed back. The Bucks and Astros were tied at 3 until the 6th inning when the Astros scored a 3-run hit over the Pirates and took control of the game. The final score was 6-3 Astros. I'm Josh Elsas with sports, but now, take a look at this.
Take a look at this. Kentucky Spalding University held its 37th annual Running of the Rodents Wednesday. This year's theme was Celebrity. And the contestants who didn't always run in the right direction included Robert Ratford, Ratalina Jolie, and Rat King Cole. The university says the event's a stress reliever before the rat race of finals week. These 15 couples are ready to embrace the ups and downs of marriage. They took their vows on a roller coaster at the Mall of America.
I take you to be my wife.
After everything was official, the couples took a few spins on the Pepsi Orange Streak coaster. Talk about taking the plunge.
Dream come true.
Dream come true, definitely.
This book has racked up some serious late fees. It was just returned to the Washington and Lee University Library after 145 years. It was stolen by a Union soldier during the Civil War. He apparently thought he was taking revenge on a military institute. It's inscribed by the soldier and was kept as a family heirloom for years until it was returned to its rightful owner. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jim Ribble.
We now go to RMU Live's Chris Baginski with commentary on a current event that is pressing, breaking, or even shocking. The views expressed do not reflect the views or opinions of RMU-TV. Here's the last Baginski report.
The end of the semester is approaching, which means so are finals. It's a time that's marked with people stressing out and wondering what will become of their final grade. But there are ways of cutting down on stress and preventing yourself from banging your head against your desk in frustration. First things first, realize it's not that big of a deal. No matter what happens, the sun will rise the next day. If it doesn't, then we've got more serious problems to deal with. Yes, finals are important, but they aren't a matter of life or death. Secondly, once you realize that, manage your time well. If you cram, you will most likely fail. If you use your time well, you will most likely succeed. Professors tell you this constantly, but I feel it needs to be repeated. Third, music is a good way to avoid stress. I know I'm always in a better mood to study when Led Zeppelin's Achilles' Last Stand is blasting through my headphones. So heed that advice, and maybe you'll get through finals week.
Definitely good finals week advice.
Nobody better to give you advice than Chris Baginski.
I couldn't think of anybody better.
No, I couldn't either.
Very stressful time of the year, but yeah, we make it.
Everybody makes it through all right, Chris.
Speaking of time of the year, this is our last RMU Live.
Yes, it is.
Until the fall.
It's been great working with everybody on this show. Everybody's put in a lot of hard work and a lot of good effut.
Of course, this is just the end product, but a lot behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'd like to thank those people that put all the work in that you don't see right here.
No. And we'll be back in September.
Of course.
So, and of course, you'll be back tonight, Colonial Sports Center.
9:30, yeah, and so will Chris Baginski. Will be back tonight for that, and got a good show planned for you, Chris.
Sounds good. Well, for all of us here at RMU Live, I'm Chris Walker. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great summer. Take care now, everyone.
Have a nice day.